5 fires continue to burn, 2 of them completely uncontained.
A powerful winter storm is pummeling parts of the eastern US.
Entire neighborhoods completely destroyed, everything gone.
It's 2025. According to the latest climate targets, we should be halving emissions this decade. And yet, due to the continuous burning of fossil fuels and business as usual behavior, we are still seeing an increase in greenhouse gas emissions.
New tonight, the federal government reports that there has been a double-digit jump in American homelessness compared to last year.
And that's not all. Inequality is on the rise. The poorest 50% of our world hold only 2% of global wealth, whilst the top 10% hold 76%. Both of these, a derailing climate and inequality, are symptoms of a failing system. In this video, we are going to talk about one key element of this system: shareholder capitalism. Most corporate structures today are designed to keep the wealth in the hands of the few, disregarding any negative consequences that this may have. Let's take the example of Shell. The second largest oil and gas company in the world. Shell was set up in 1907, so it's been providing energy and oil and gas to the world for over 100 years. It's done a lot since it started working, and not only bad, but Shell is now running the risk of being remembered only for its destructive impact. Today, it is one of the top 10 corporate emitters of greenhouse gas emissions. Shell has been tried in court for its actions, but its justification is that if they stop selling oil and gas, another company will anyways. According to Shell, politicians and their policies are the ones that should be responsible for lowering emissions.
We will drill, baby, drill.
But we are past the point where we have the luxury of saying who is responsible for what. Every company out there has a role to play if we are to meet the climate targets. So why doesn't Shell just change course and do what's best for people and the planet? Like many companies out there, the answer to this question is shareholder capitalism. To talk more about this concept, I interviewed Nina de Kort, co-founder of We Are Stewards and co-author of the book Toekomstbedrijven, which explores how companies can move away from maximizing profits and focusing on growth towards actually looking at having a broader societal impact.
I stumbled upon steward ownership 5 years ago. I was working in the energy tech sector with multiple startups, and I noticed that one after the other startup that had a vision, that had a mission, that was going to change the world, was being sold to a multinational or an investor, and they started losing their original mission. We call this mission drift. The problem with shareholder capitalism is that shareholders have certain rights in companies. They have voting rights, so they can decide on, for example, do we want to invest in innovation or not, or pay out dividends? So they have quite essential voting rights, but they also have profit rights. So it is not a surprise that shareholders will use their voting rights to increase profit rights. And because of this power that lies with shareholders and investors and owners of companies, it's increasingly difficult for management to stay independent of these powers. And what we see is that companies, even young, fresh startups, increasingly become profit-driven, whether they want this or not. It's a result of the way the system is designed. Steward ownership proposes a new design of company structures. So what it does, it tries to separate voting rights from economic rights by saying the heart of the company should be guarded by people that are capable of guarding it. And we call those people stewards. So stewards are people that guard the mission of the company and always have a long-term vision. So they are not driven by short-term profit motives. We interviewed dozens of CEOs from steward-owned companies, and it resulted in this book. It's called Toekomstbedrijven. There is an English excerpt available, link in description. And also around the same time, the foundation We Are Stewards was started, and that is the foundation that I'm working at today with 3 colleagues. We are working to make steward ownership common ground in the Netherlands.
A growing number of people are advocating for companies that look beyond their bottom line. Companies that focus on improving society rather than exploiting it. If that sounds like biosphere to you, that's also how we see it. So we set up our company, Steward Owned. What this means for us is that we have a foundation, the One Biosphere Foundation, that holds 100% of the voting rights in Biosphere Solar BV. We've then allocated different types of shares for founders, investors that hold only financial rights. The key is in the separation of the people making decisions and the people making money. You might remember that in our last video, we told you that our patents are held by our foundation. And this is why. We want to make sure that our IP, such as our patents, are protected by mission-driven intents rather than financial ones. Steward ownership might sound like a no-brainer to some, but there are some caveats to it. Steward-owned companies and Biosphere Solar also struggle to raise investments from conventional routes, like VC firms and even impact investors. In steward-owned companies, investors have fewer rights than in conventional companies. And although steward-owned companies have been shown to have greater resilience and longer-term health, they are not made for hockey stick growth paths, which is often what investors are seeking. But companies like ours do need to grow fast. We need to scale our solutions because the climate is not waiting around. We need circular solar panels now. So this is where you come in. To those of you who have already donated on our GoFundMe page, thank you. You are the reason we're still here. To those that might still want to donate, we'll leave the link in the description below. If you're interested in investing or you want to put circular solar panels in your project, please reach out to us via our website. And of course, the easiest way to support us is by becoming a part of our community. Join the Discord channel, like and subscribe below, and join the movement of fair and circular solar.